Hello beautiful people and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, it's great to have you here. And if you're returning, it's good to see you again. In today's video, you'll get the channel message, plus a page from the Daily Guidance Angel book, and also a card from the Universal Love Healing Oracle deck. Before I get into this message, please note that this is a collective group message, so it may not resonate with you today, and that's simply okay. Come back tomorrow where it may align more with what you need to know. Okay, let's get into it. Take back control. What have you endured in your life that you feel is a massive contributing factor to your mental health state and to your emotional state? For so many of us, life has definitely thrown challenges on our path. Yeah? I can hear some of you right now saying, really? I endured, you were calling it a challenge. And I go, again, I hope that you can bear with me and not hold on to that one word challenge to shut you down and not hear and take in the rest of this message. Whatever word resonates with you, find that word and replace it with the word that I've just used. I hope that makes sense. It is just a word. Don't hold on to the word I use. Stay open to hear the essence of this message, okay? Bear with me and stay with me. When a person endures a traumatic or painful experience, to begin healing, it is not about what happened. You must focus on healing the emotional pain you felt in that experience. In other words, it's about how that experience still makes you feel today. You might be saying it happened years ago. Yeah? Have you healed it though? You see, most therapists, I'm not going to say all, most, and this is feedback from my clients. It's come from the mouths of people that have experienced this. It's not my experience. It's from others that I'm sharing this with you. Get you to speak about the experience. So in other words, what happened to you, often causing to relive the whole experience again, just by having to verbalize the experience, rather than speak about the emotional impact the past experience still has on you and the current day triggers from the past experience. So when they've gone to a therapist, what they said was, Kat, we just spoke about all the actual, what we went through, as in what happened, the analytical, okay, well, this happened, they did this, they did this, they did that happened, this happened. And I said, well, did you discuss how all of what happened impacted you emotionally? How was it making you feel? And they went, no. And I said, well, if you haven't spoken about it and you haven't then healed from it, is it not surprising then it still impacts your emotional state today? And for them, it made logical sense. And for me, it absolutely makes logical sense. It could be fear, guilt, blame, safety, resentment, hate, whatever other emotions you have suppressed attached to that past experience. Identify them. Your emotional trauma attached to the past painful traumatic experiences must be looked at and brought to the conscious surface to be healed and released. Otherwise, those emotions stay suppressed. They sit in the pit of your gut, being triggered throughout your life from experiences, present and future experiences that make you feel the same way. And guess what happens? Your reaction to the current events or whatever since that main event, it just multiplies your emotional reaction to them. And it could even come in the form of a conversation that someone said. You had a conversation, and in that conversation, that person made you feel dumb. Now, they didn't make you feel dumb. What they said made yourself feel dumb. Where does that feeling of being dumb stem from? What from your past experiences do you still carry about self? What beliefs, what limiting beliefs do you still carry about self from that past experience? Not worthy enough? Because that's why that happened to me. I feel dumb. Why do you feel dumb? Where does it come from? Who made you feel dumb all those years ago? Who made you feel worthless all those years ago? These are the emotions I'm speaking about. What anger do you still have towards somebody? This is all what I'm speaking about that needs to be looked at and healed. Because if you've got triggers in your adult life, identify where they stem from. Because right now, they're controlling you. And it could be a person that you still have so much hatred for what happened years ago. If that hatred is still festering inside you, that person still controls you. So in essence, you relive that treatment every day. You can speak about the experience till the cows come home. All of what happened to you, you can absolutely speak about it. Yeah, great. But are you actually speaking about the emotional attachment to that experience? Have you healed and looked at that? How did it make you feel? For me, this is also logical. For many of you, it's maybe a perspective that you hadn't looked at before. So what past trauma, pain, or experience are you still carrying that you have not emotionally healed from? That keeps getting triggered and triggered and triggered and triggered and triggered. And you're just falling further down on the emotional scale. Is it something the way that, your parents were with you, they made you feel a certain way? That's an experience, okay? Did you feel they didn't have enough time for you? Did you feel you were invisible? Did you never feel good enough for them? I'm speaking about all this as well. So it's not, has to be a traumatic event. It can be, well, it is. It's a traumatic experience growing up that you didn't feel like you were loved. You didn't feel ever good enough. So it's not surprising you don't ever feel good enough in your adult life, is it? Of course. For me, that's logical. We were all born innocent human beings, and that's what's happened in our environment. And society's had impact, which has molded us into who we are today. You're not just you because. You are you because of the certain circumstances that you've endured in your life. Your childhood, what childhood did you have? Were you bullied as a child? Were you picked on? Did you ever feel good enough? Were you called stupid? Were you called fat? All these things, unless they've been looked at and healed, they're still going to emotionally impact you. Maybe that's a big contributing factor to your emotional journey of up, down. And really, when you're down, you go down. This is purely offering another perspective of how to look at what's going on with you. I hope that I've really clarified that it doesn't have to be some really traumatic event. It can be, and it is trauma growing up as a child and not feeling loved or not ever feeling good enough, because in our adult life, your parents are supposed to love you, right? Yeah? And I'm not saying that they haven't loved you. And this is not about judging your folks. It's not even about them. It's about your younger self, how he or she felt growing up. And I've discussed this a lot on other videos. This comes up a lot. And this is just another perspective, because if that is, and that's hit home for you and you go, yeah, I didn't feel loved by my parents and I never felt good enough. Are you still carrying that feeling? And that's going inward, not from here. That's going to say, nah, of course not, Kat. Go inward. Because if you are low of self-worth and lack self-value and have limiting beliefs of self, where do they stem from? They're not just there. Because why do some people have it and you don't? There is always a cause. Identify the cause, because then you can heal. That's what I'm saying. Okay, what do we have in the guidebook? Wow. I don't often go to the middle of the book or even the back part of the book. It's always more the front part for some reason. And today it's, as you can see, the middle. And it's so appropriate. Know that you are eternally loved. Wow. And that's really the core essence, is when we struggle with emotional trauma, the core essence of it is generally that we don't feel good enough or we don't feel loved. And this is just saying, know that you are eternally loved. So what a beautiful affirmation, I guess, of that. So before I read this, if you want to close your eyes with me, take a deep breath, just so you can recenter yourself and absorb all the goodness from this message. We have always loved you since your soul's inception long ago. You were born as God's perfect creation, and our affection for you has never wavered. We'll continue to be with you throughout eternity, forever by your side. You are eternally cherished, dear one. You've earned this just by the virtue of being a child of the divine. You don't need to do anything else to prove or deserve this favor. It's already yours forever. Thought for today. I am deeply loved right now. I deserve and welcome love, for it's safe for me to feel this emotion. My heart is fully open to receiving divine caring. I want to read one sentence again. I deserve and welcome love, for it is safe for me to feel this emotion. Absolutely. For many of you watching this, I'm really getting that your heart has been closed off. Because if it's closed, that's why it can't be heard again, right? And for some of you, you're in a relationship and your partner just says, I don't feel like I can get close to you. That's partially why. And you're not intentionally closing off your heart. It's just that there is fear that if you open it, it may just get hurt like it has once before. And in order to receive love, you must give love. But in order to receive love, you must be open to it. And vulnerability, many people will say it's a weakness. And I go, that's a true indication that the heart needs some healing, because vulnerability in its truest form is a sign of strength. It takes courage to be vulnerable, because you may get hurt, but in the same token, you might not. Most people go to, what if I fall? And I say, go to, what if you fly? What if you fly? So what a beautiful message to know that you are eternally loved. And I feel for some of you, you really needed to hear that today. And you absolutely are, and the love must begin with you. You must learn to love you. So what have we got, the cards? We've got 2 cards today and 1 drop. Oh my gosh. Meditation. This is continuously presenting itself. I spoke about meditation on yesterday's video. It's come up again today. It came up a couple of days ago. So clearly what I am getting guided to remind you that some of you are wondering why you're not moving forward, but you're not taking time to quieten your mind and really go inward. Some of you may be watching a lot of these videos and going, yeah, they're good. However, you're not taking the time to honor you and go inward. Really quieten the mind. I don't want to really focus on the word meditate because sometimes it can pull people off and shut you down. But it's so important that you quieten the mind and go inward. Introspect. Really look inward. All your answers are in there. You've just got to take the time to find them. And that takes quietening of the mind. It takes investing some time into self to just be. So go for a walk in nature. If you're in Australia, we've got the long weekend, it's Easter weekend. Take that time to really be with self, because you might be just damn well pleasantly surprised of what comes up and presents itself. So let's go into the message again for meditation. Righty. Your soul is yearning to communicate with you, so sit quietly and listen. Let the light of your soul fill your heart and mind. Listen to the guidance that comes from within. Pay attention to your inner world and don't be distracted by what is going on outside of you. All you need is inside you and not outside of you. The outer world is full of distractions and illusions. In your inner world resides your truth. If you are struggling to find an answer or a solution to something, then still your mind through meditation and soon will become clear. So it really is with taking back your power. Take the time to really look at all situations in your life and find out who's still holding your power. And you can only do this by going inward. Quieten all the distractions on the external world and go inward and find it. Get out of here, go to gut and find your answer. Because your answer is not here. You can't think your answer. You must feel it. What is the next card? The Goddess. I love the pose. It's such confident. And to really, what I look at is, to be naked is to have confidence, to look at your body and be confident in it, like the stand even represents confidence. So it's like it is time for you to take back your power, to gain that confidence of self, because right now someone else is holding your power. And if you want to be confident and you want to identify and gain that self-love and that self-worth and that self-value, take back your power, because someone else is holding you back. Go inward. Look at your naked self. It's not easy to go inward and really look at your truth. That's your truth. We are born all naked. That's where your truth lies. So go inward. The Goddess. I don't know if I've pulled this card recently. Before I read this message, if you'd like to close your eyes with me, let's take a deep breath. Just so you can absorb all the goodness from this message. Creativity, intuition, reflection. Look at the image. Here we go. And note what feelings emerge. The lady in the picture with the moon reflecting behind her is here to remind you of your intuition and creative power. Power that has somewhat faded over the past months. There is much to be gained by reconnecting with your intuitive, creative power for its very essence of life and all creation. All it takes is for you to look inside. Hello. Pay attention to what you feel in your heart and let your inner goddess shine through you. And for you men, your inner God. For he holds the power of your entire universe, and as such, so do you. Now, if that cannot affirm more what I was just absolutely sharing, I don't know what will. For some of you, it's time. It's time to absolutely take back your power. You have been giving it to someone else. Not intentionally. Subconsciously, they're still impacting you. You just haven't been aware of it. And I hope today, the perspective in which I've offered triggers something for you to go, oh my gosh, I didn't take that into consideration. I hadn't even looked at that area. I was not aware. So I hope that now you are aware and you have the ability to change it. So go for it. Take back that control, because I'm going to share with you, it is so freeing when you come to that realization. You go, oh my gosh, I've been giving my power to them because I have hated them, I've resented them, I'm so angry, and it's really held me back from living the life that I want. Oh my gosh. And when I come to that realization, I was like, what the hell? Why do I want to hold on to this? No way, thank you. I'm going to back my power. I'm going to go and live my best life. And from that day moving forward, I've continuously healed, worked on self, and really grown and evolved. And I keep growing and evolving, and that's good. We all should. You never know everything, and you never know everything about yourself. There's always something that will come up and present, and I love that, as I've shared in other videos. It's great. So I hope that you've gained something from today, just something little. And know that you matter. You matter. You are your most valuable asset, so invest in you, because no one else will. And why wouldn't you want to do it in the fastest, quickest way possible? Because the results are worth it. If you enjoyed today's video, I'd be so grateful if you would like the video, subscribe to my channel, and also click on the notifications bell so you'll be notified when I upload tomorrow's cat's message of the day. I want to thank you for your time with me, as I respect your time is so valuable. So thank you, especially being an Easter weekend. So for today, take care of you.